Welcome in Pesky Pole YouTube channel, and this here is Draft Day Sports Pro Basketball 21 from Wolverine Studios. It is one of my favorite games. I would say it's right there with Out of the Park Baseball. The only difference is I'm probably more of a baseball fan than a basketball fan, but that's it. This is kind of the Out of the Park Baseball for basketball players, for NBA lovers. You are going to run your own franchise, and it is a lot of fun. It's very realistic. It's just really, Gary Gorski has been doing this game now for a long time. I've been playing this game for a long time, and it gets better each time we do it. So I got the screen here for you. And first of all, I downloaded all the mods. If you go to WolverineStudios.com, you can go ahead and go to the community page and download all the real stuff, okay? But in terms of setting things up, I'm going to use the real NBA League, all the teams, all the logos, all the courts, but I'm going to use fictional players. And I just kind of like using fictional players because it kind of gives you more immersion, in my opinion. You don't have the bias, you don't get upset if Zion Williamson becomes a bum, or if, you know, a player that, just pick out any kind of player, a player that you don't think is very good in the league suddenly becomes a star. It can bother people. If you have all the players who are fictional and you get to know them, it really gives you some immersion in the game, and you manage the game differently too. You don't manage by names, you manage by the scouting reports and the talent. So that's the first thing. Rookie class options, I've done a few things here. I allowed international players to play. I allowed high school players to come in. I just, personal opinion. You can link it to college basketball. I'm going to wait. The new college basketball game comes out probably in March or February or so, and I'm going to plan on getting that too. And then for my next season, I'm pretty sure I can change it later on. So the first draft class I'm going to have is going to be a default draft class. And then I'll incorporate the new college basketball game in there for future seasons, is my plan. But you can do that now. If you've got college basketball 20, you can do that now, and so forth. So one of the cool things, I've also do draft lottery. I've done equal chance lottery, which basically means that if you miss the playoffs, if you're the ninth best team in the East, you you have the same shot as getting the lottery pick as the worst team in the NBA. So I just kind of like doing that. It gives every team a shot. There's no tanking. I think it's an anti-tanking rule, which I like, and so forth. So I think the real NBA should do that too. Other thing too, one of the things that, I mentioned before that I'm not as big as an NBA fan as I am a baseball fan. One of the big things is I love the NBA back in the 90s, and that's probably because I'm a Knicks fan, and the Knicks were relevant back then, but also because I just think there's too many three-point shots. And so you can go in and adjust how many three-point shots get attempted during your game. So 100% is the current modern levels, okay? You're going to get realistic three-point shots, which in my opinion is way too much. The NBA is tough to watch for me at this point. Everyone shoots threes. They all play the same way. I don't want to get in a rant about that. But you can go ahead and fix it and make it like you want to. And this is the same thing that Out of the Park Baseball does. I'm not a big fan of baseball right now either, with the whole strikeout, walk, or home run thing either. And so you can adjust Out of the Park Baseball, make it play like it did in 1985, okay? And so here, you do the same thing. So I'm going 40%. And the reason why is, I'm going to get these numbers wrong now because I did this a few days ago. Basically in 1992, 93, kind of my glory years of the NBA watching, each team attempted about 750 three-point attempts. Okay, maybe 735, but in that range. Last year, or I think I'm in 2019, I didn't really count that. Last year was goofy because of the pandemic. So the last normal NBA year, I believe it was 2,600 three-point attempts for each team. Okay, that's a huge difference. Okay, so I think a good number is around the 1,000 mark for a team, and so 40% should get me in that range of 1,000 for the season, which is about what? That's about, if you do 10 a game, that's 820. You know, 20 a game is 1,600. So about, you know, 15 a game. So we'll track that too as I play some games out. I'm gonna play one game out for you today, and do that. So can some do it? Pace adjustment factor. You can also change it up too. I'm gonna keep the pace the way it is. I have no problem with the pace. You can allow salary cap increases, trading date restrictions. Okay. Which I might do. I'm gonna do trading date. That's a trading deadline. Allow off-season injuries, which I think is pretty cool, and do all that stuff. Okay, so and this is all kinds of. So other thing is too is when I played this game, you can kind of select. This is kind of similar out of the park baseball as well. You can be kind of the global settings in terms of you can be the coach and be the GM. You run the whole show. And for baseball, I do that. Okay, I like to manage the games. I like to do the GM stuff too. In basketball, I like being the GM. I like trying to be the guy pulling the strings. And I also like the idea of kind of critiquing my coaches and firing my coaches, or hiring new coaches, or extending them, and so forth. So it's really how you like to play the game. Okay, so I went ahead and created a game, fictional league, no draft. And so you got players in your team just by chance, okay? And I'm the New York Knicks. I'm running the New York Knicks. I'm going to try to bring the glory. And so let's kind of look at the roster real quick. And let's look at the dashboard first of all. So this is pretty cool. And we'll kind of get into more details in a second, though. So the dashboard, no, I haven't played a game yet. This is going to look really cool when I play a game, though. So here's my team. Look at the new uniforms. Look at that orange and blue. Gorgeous, gorgeous. As you can see right away, I'm in cap issues right now. Okay, and so also you can see my team isn't very good. So 5 stars is kind of the best you can do for a player in this league. All right, so as you can see, I have a 3-star here in John Reese, a 3.5-star here, 2.5-star. So this wouldn't be a big deal if I was under the cap. If I was like under the cap by about like 40 million and I had this roster, I'd be kind of like happy, because all right, we're not supposed to have a really good team, but the fact is I'm over the cap and I kind of got some junk. So it's realistic with the Knicks. This is what the Knicks do. So it makes the game cool. I mean, I was kind of hoping I might get a really good team and try to bring the Knicks to glory my first year, but this is going to be a building process, which is cool too. So let's kind of take a look at the roster. Oh, I want to show you too. So one of the things I do on here as well is I go to my staff, okay? And this is why I do this. So I'm the comrade. That's me, the GM. Here's my coach, Sean Orr. All right, so this guy's pretty good. And this is important, okay? He's an elite evaluator of offense and defense. Okay? Game strategy, not decent. Doesn't develop players. So one of the things with my coaching staff right now, we don't develop players very well. So these guys are all on 1-year deals, and trust me, I will be bringing in some guys who can develop players in the off season after the season's over, for sure. So, but he's really good at this, and this is why it's important. All right, so I like this because I can really tell how good my roster is. Now I showed you kind of the rankings and how they rank. So you can see here the stars, the 3.5, the 5.5, and so forth, doing that. And so one thing you can do is go to the star rankings is fine. So I'm going to go to Buddy Stafford. Okay, so this is a really cool string. So Buddy Stafford, the cool thing here, you can tell his draft pick. He was the 1st round draft pick and #1 overall at one time. And all these numbers here, once again, he's not that great. He's getting paid basically the max contract for the next 3 years. So not a good contract situation. But if I really want to see how good he is, right, I'm going to go to my staff report. And so remember, my head coach, Sean Orr, is like a master evaluator. So I'm going to trust what he says. I'm not going to trust these dudes as much because they're not great at this. But he's good. So he's got Buddy Stafford's an A- scoring, defense a B. So he's a pretty good player. So the 3.5 star rating, maybe a little bit undervalued a little bit. He's not that bad. He's not great at passing. He's not really a great rebounder. For a guy making that money, it's not ideal. So it's kind of one thing to look at. It's pretty cool. Contract-wise, I've got... here's my contract situation. So Buddy Stafford is the guy making the most money right here. 3 years left in his deal. He's got a player option in the third year, which is good. So Joe Dixon's a backup guard for me right now. He's making a lot of money. He's not real great either. But that comes out the books there too. This guy here is the issue. So he's got a player option for next year. He's going to take that player option. Okay, because he's not going to get that money anywhere else. As you can see, he's a pretty average ball player. And so he's going to definitely take that money. So I got to try to trade him maybe. If I can get rid of him and get rid of that contract there, it could be pretty good. Drew Stevens, this guy's pretty cool. He's a point guard. All right, he's 5'11". All right, and he's got this attacker is his kind of distinction, I guess you can say. So he's a guy who takes it to the hole. He's good at inside shooting. He's a decent outside shooting, free throws. Scoring's not bad. The problem is he's my point guard, and he doesn't pass real well. That's kind of an issue. His court IQ, okay, pretty good. Discipline, not. So not ideal for a guy to run your show. And this is probably why one of the best team. John Reese here is my younger player. He's got a player option. He's cheap right now. And he's a 3-star up to 3.5. So he's a guy inside. I mean, he's decent. So we don't have much talent. So I'm kind of curious where they put my team here. Let's go to the league media. And this is one of my favorite things that this game does a lot of, which is cool. So in the league media, they come in and you can kind of click in the season preview. So this kind of gives you an idea of where they think that they're going to have you ranked. And so you see in the East right here, the Hornets are the 1 seed. So they're the projected best team in the Eastern Conference. We got Orlando as the 2 seed. That's my daughter, you can hear. The Hawks are 3. I mean, so this is kind of their predictions. Doesn't mean it will happen. I like to kind of check these out too when the season's over to see if they come up. And so I'm surprised the Knicks are number 9. With that roster, I really thought I'd be in that 13 range. But there's teams that they think are worse than us, which is surprising. So we got the Heat here. So we're kind of battling for that playoff spot, which is not the ideal place we want to be, especially if I want to try to blow it up. So I'm going to see how they do. We'll go from there. So the Hornets, just kind of show you the Hornets are the favorites to win the East. The West, it's the Mavericks and the Spurs. So right now they're predicting the Mavericks Hornets NBA Finals going on, which would be pretty cool. So what else I want to show you guys here, which is pretty cool. It's a really fun game. Really fun game. Let me do this real quick. I'm going to show you guys an actual game in a second. I'm going to pause it here and come back and show you a game. But let me just sim a game for the Knicks real quick too. So Lakers and Clippers. Okay, so we're going to kind of sim their games here, and you can kind of actually watch them or play them. Here's the cool thing too for the gambling people in the world. So a little game preview right here. Got the over and under for you, and you got the Pelicans who are 8-point favorites. So that's pretty cool. So we'll sim those games in there. I love the graphics, man. This is really a good looking game. And that's important. Jimmy Hamilton, 41 points, 6 assists, 4 steals. I'm doing that. So real quick, I want to go back to, I'll do the Knicks game real quick. So Knicks playing the Spurs. The Spurs are the second best team in the West, according to predictions. Okay, so let's do a little game preview right here. They've got one of their guys out. Roy Boxler is out. Okay. The Spurs are big favorites, 18-point favorites in this one at home. Let me just see if I can see. the Spurs and how good that guy is before I play this game. If he's one of their scrubs or if he can play. So let's check out the Spurs real quick before I sim this game. Boxler, okay, he's not a really good player. So that's not a big deal. So I like to look at this too. I like to kind of go around the league, and I do this eventually, is I go through the league too and look at all the 5 stars. Okay, so the reason why the Spurs are a really good team, they got 2 5 stars. So they got 2 big time players, and Tim Walden and Tim Walden right there for the Spurs. He's locked up for a couple of years too. So if I'm thinking about trying to get him in free agency, not going to happen. So he's a good ball player there. Doug Warren, a power forward, and he's locked up for 2 more years. So that's why the Spurs are good. They got 2 guys, and I imagine the Mavericks probably have the 2 5 stars probably as well, and probably have another guy in that 4-star range. So they're loaded. That's what a good team looks like, as opposed to my Knicks team, which looks horrid right now on the paper. So let's go ahead. We're going to sim this game. I'm going to have you watch a game. My next game I'll have you watch. I wanted to show you something before I do that. Let's play and sim this bad boy. I'm going to pull an upset. And I lost by 13. I'm going to go back to the box score in a second now. So lost by 13. Let me go back to yesterday's game. Let's go back to that game there. Look at the box score. So 116-103. I covered the spread. I was getting 18, so good job, Knicks. Doug Warren, he's that 5-star guy, one of their 5-star guys, 38 points, 6 boards. He kind of chewed me up. Where's that Walden guy? Walden, he went for 29 and dished out 10 assists. That dude's a stud. So my guys here, my main guy, Stafford, didn't do great. Doing that. So 3-point attempts. So I took 28 threes and they took 14. So 14 is kind of what I'm looking for. My Knicks are jacking threes. What's that? Yeah. So my Knicks are jacking 3-pointers like crazy. Is that right? 3, 8, 10, 12, 6, 4 for 6. So my Knicks are a 3-point shooting team apparently because they shot a lot more. But that's kind of more the range, that 14 range. Let me go back over here and kind of see the other games too. So let me see. Let's check it. Philadelphia and Boston. I want to see how many threes they shot. I might have to tweak it a little bit and see. 3-point. Okay, so that's good. So they're shooting 10 3-pointers here, 22 here. That's an average right there of like 15. So that's kind of what you want. You know, some teams will shoot more, which is good because I like teams playing different styles. But I like to kind of see the average about 15 a game from each team will get you about 1,000. So I'm pretty impressed with that. But the graphics are so good and really, really good. It's a pretty game to watch and play. So that's it. So I'm going to play you a game. What I'm going to do is actually play out a game and get to the fourth quarter and do that kind of offline. And I'm going to pick it back up, the recording back up, so you can kind of watch a game being played out, which is really fun. And I think they've really improved that as well. And we can do that. Oh, I want to check one more thing. I'm sorry. I'm kind of all over the place. Let me do one more thing. This is the cool. Let me get back to my Knickers. My Knickerbockers. So I go to my dashboard for the Knicks. This is a really cool page once you play a game. This is pretty cool. So this is kind of what's going on right now. We're 0-1. Okay, we're gave a 116. We got 22 assists, 42 rebounds. Okay. This kind of gives you some team news. Reese went 5 for 10. My little point guard went hit 4 or 15 shots. Okay, that's not real good there, Drew Stevens. Dixon, my free agent to be off the bench. Bucky Stafford, So you get an idea too of the player estimate of pi, which is pretty cool. You kind of give an idea of kind of who's contributing when. Next opponent win chance. Okay, I'm playing Brooklyn next, and it looks like they don't think I'm gonna win. So that's all right. We may have to tank and get out of the playoffs and see if we can do well in the draft. So that's how that works too. So also, before I do this anymore, let's gonna go to the scout part. I can scout the next draft. And once again, these are default players I have in there too. So this is a possible draft pool. Let me see if they've ranked them yet. So you can kind of scout these guys. Okay, and so forth. I'm trying to think if we can do... I gotta figure out too. A lot of times they give you like a little mock draft too, which they may do later on as we get closer to it. Okay, here's the ranking. Here we go. So here's the rankings. I'm not sure what these dudes here are. DBL select players. So I'm not sure what that means. But this dude here is Roger DeWolf. Looks like he's a high school kid. Let me see if I can scout him. So I can put the scouts in there and do that stuff. So I think we get close to the draft and do those things too. Oh, this is pretty cool too. So if I want to go ahead, I'm just right now. Trade players. This is the trading block right here. I'm going to put some guys in the trading block right away. Bucky Stafford. I'm going to put him in the trading block. I'm sorry. Where is the dude who's going to take that big money? Dean. He's going to take that option so we can get rid of him. Stevens. That's a Dixon's a free agent of the year. Stevens, if we can get rid of him, we will. So I'm going to do that right there. And you can kind of go through all these teams. So say you can go through and see who's got guys in the trading block. You see the Celtics have Celtics don't on the trading block yet. This will probably change as the season goes in there. So you can see two team plan. They're planning to rebuild. You see their cap setups. They have caps. So the Celtics rebuilding. Not very good this year. So that's pretty cool too. One thing too that Gary mentioned in his video the other day was that you have some GMs in the league that you play against that are not smart. I got in the hard level. I got an MVP level, so I got in the hardest level. But apparently there are GMs within this little world that are not very smart and will make some moves that are dumb moves. And so usually those are the guys who run the Knicks in real life. So that can happen. So that's pretty cool too if I can kind of find out somebody, because I need to get rid of some of those guys. And I'm going to have to try to pull that off here too. But you have to find someone who's dumb, and you can kind of track that too and see what happens. So that's it for right now. I'm going to come back and do a video for you of the fourth quarter of the Knicks and Brooklyn Nets game, so you can see how long it takes to kind of watch a game that you're doing, and we'll go back and do that. So. All right, so this is the game right here. So as you can see, I am down by 24 points, and I'm just watching this game. And so what I do normally, I sim the game against the Spurs, which I never do. Okay, I usually always watch the game. So, but normally I go ahead and put the speed up. Here's the speed button. I put it way up here. Okay. For the first 3 quarters or so, that's the playoffs. But then I put it down here to the slow part and I watch it. And so it doesn't take long. It takes about 12 minutes a quarter to play. And so I want to kind of show you the game right here. So 99-75 is the score going to the fourth quarter. My Knicks are horrible. Dixon having a pretty good game for me, 25 points. As you can see, the Nets are shooting 65% from the field. We're being out rebounded by almost 2-1. which is normal because if you think about it, and the rankings or the ratings I showed you earlier, the Knicks have nobody who plays defense and no one who can rebound. So it's pretty logical in that sense. 3-pointers, I've shot 18, which the Knicks look like they're, this team's a 3-point shooting team, but over here 10 for the Nets. So we're in that 15-3 average a game thing for the teams, which is what I'm looking for my settings. So it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and watch it. You can see kind of how the gameplay is. It's pretty cool. I like the ball movement. It's really smooth. And that's a missed shot there. But this is not bad. And this kind of takes about 12 minutes to play or so. I mean, in real time. And so I usually, when I play regular season games, I watch the fourth quarter. Now, normally in this, I wouldn't watch this. If I got to the fourth quarter and I'm down by 24, I wouldn't watch it. I chalk off as a loss, but I'm going to let it play here for you guys so you kind of see what it's like. Let's see how it goes. Court looks great. It really is a good-looking game in terms of visually, and which is important. I bring up front office football a lot. Front office football is the best football engine in terms of GM and a lot of stuff too, but it's not easy on the eyes. It's hard to play. It's hard to really get immersed in it without any graphics and things like this. So I'm still waiting for that perfect football game to be like that. I know Wolverine Studios has a football game out, and it's good. It's probably the best. It's the it looks nice. The engine and the AI isn't that great, but it's still a fairly new series too. So it takes some time to kind of get it perfected. But this game here, for basketball wise, is really good in terms of the AI, in terms of logic, in terms of trades, in terms of just the flow of an NBA season. They do a good job. So really it is. So I haven't played Football Manager before, and I'm thinking about buying Football Manager to try. I'm not a soccer fan, but I figure it's one good way to learn. And Football Manager is kind of billed as the ultimate, immersion, management game. And I think Out of the Park Baseball is right there, and I think this is kind of in that same realm. So, and not everyone likes NBA basketball is the main issue. I mean, not everyone loves the NBA, but if you love the NBA, you would have all kinds of have kinds of fun with it. And I'm not a big, I'm an NBA fan, as mentioned before, not like I was when I was a kid, but there's ways you can kind of tweak it, make it play like you did when you were a kid as well. So, also I wanted to bring up too, the modding community is really good. You can play with the real players. You can play with the actual rosters, and they have great graphics and pictures of all those. There's a great mod in there as well too. So if you want to take over the real New York Knicks, the real Lakers with LeBron James, or the Pelicans with Zion, and do that, I mean, that probably appeals to a lot more people. But you can do that. So I'm just showing you kind of how I like to do things. So, and I may do one of those too. To be honest with you, I may go ahead and take over the Pelicans with Zion and see what I can do with that. So we're getting through 8:45 to go in the quarter, and it's now looking pretty good. Down by 32 now, 109-77. The Nets have their scrubs in now. Their one guy, Derek, I think it's Derek Carter, had 35 opening night against the Timberwolves in a loss, and I believe he had over 25 in this one. So the Nets are not a really great team. They got crushed opening up with the Timberwolves. I think they're picked like 7th in the East or so. They're only 3.5-point favorites in this game. I did the point spread thing in there. So we're not playing well at all. So not a good team, not playing well. My man Bucky Stafford down there, my best player in terms of contract, 11 points, 3 assists, 1 rebound. Not going to get it done. Not going to get done. Only took 8 shots. So not going to get it done. We're going to have to remake this team. Remake this team now. All right, 7:48 to go. We'll play this game out to get an idea of how long it takes. So, and listen, if you want to go into the coaching aspect of it, you can. I can't coach right now because I'm the GM only. If you do it globally, though, in the settings, you can coach and you can make the substitutions here. You can do strategy, all that thing there too. So, what I do, the college game. There's a college game out right now, College Basketball 20. The new one comes out usually around March, around March Madness. That's when Gary usually does it. But and in that game I coach. I think that's kind of more of the coaching aspect, and you take on the coaching and put the zones, and so I have fun doing that. For the NBA game, I like just being the GM and doing it that way. So it's really kind of your preference on that. But the college basketball game is fun too to coach and to double team and play matchup zones, and it's pretty cool recruiting and all that stuff too. And the same thing too. You have the great courts and the authentic courts and the uniforms and the jerseys and all that stuff there too. So it's pretty cool. All right, down by what's that? 27 now. There's Derek Carter. He's back in the game. Carter's got 26 points in this game. He had 35 opening night, so he's one of the leading scorers, 11 for 17 from the field. The Nets shooting 63% now. They've taken 14 threes, at 4 of them. The Knicks taken 20 threes, had 7 of them. So we're one of the. I have to go look. I bet you we're one of the teams that shoots the most threes in this league. So I'm not sure that's a good thing because I'm not sure we have guys who can shoot the three. We jack them up for sure, but 7 for 20, not great. So we can make it respectable. Look up here, the referee. You can see the little those kind of bubbles come up there with the referees. I like the kind of those graphics there that pop up, kind of keeping the game. There's a cool thing too that we might not be able to see, but when a guy scores 20 points in a game, you'll see his kind of head pop up over here and decide, and it'll tell you how many 20-point games he's had for the season, how many 30-point games he's had for the season. So we might see Derek Carter. He's got 29 right here. If he gets 30, it might pop up and show him how many 30-point games he's had this season. I think that's pretty cool too. They do a good job of doing that, and especially when you play with the fictional players, it gets you really to know the league, and so it's fun. Like right now, I just started this. It's game 2. I'm still kind of learning the league, learning the players. But when you do this, you kind of learn the guys and you learn who the stars are. Just like the Spurs game opening night. I know who their 2 studs are right there. And so it's kind of cool to kind of follow the league once you kind of see those teams in person and see what they do. So just like here, this Brooklyn team is killing me right now. And I'm curious. Maybe they're really good. Maybe they don't have a lot of stars in their team, but maybe they're better than they're projected, or maybe they're not that good and we just really stink. So it's one of those things you're going to follow around. The Spurs beat us by 15, I think it was. So I was on the road as well. All right, 119 to 88 to score. It's a beatdown. Rebounds. We closed rebound gap a little bit. Free throws, 19 for 21. Good free throw shooting team. The Nets only got 12 free throws. So we've won the battle with the referee since we're getting the line, but still doesn't matter. Just getting killed in the boards, and we're giving up way too many easy shots. We got to find that 1990s New York Knicks defense. We got to find players who want to play that way. So I'm going to try to. And that's what I probably do too. I'm going to. Given that I have that kind of love with those Knicks teams, I may build a team kind of like that, having those guys who play defense. But you got to find that one star, like that one Patrick Ewing type player. Doesn't be a center, but that one guy who can be your go-to guy and kind of and surround him with guys who play defense and rebound. And so we'll see if we can win it that way. But we got to find that guy, whether it be in free agency, whether it be in the lottery. We'll have to see. But we'll follow along here on the YouTube channel. And, of course, on the blog, my blog, check it out, thesportsprojects.net. That's where all my projects are going. It's brand new, and I've been playing all kinds of simulation games, replay games, baseball, basketball, football, golf, you name it. And just wanted to have a place to put everything, to keep the stats and to keep, blog posts and keep the encyclopedia things I've built over time, all in one place. So definitely check that out, thesportsprojects.net. We've got the 1951 Major League Baseball season replay going on. We got a 1988 NFL replay going on. The year 2000 college football season going on. That'll be up there soon. I'm actually playing PC replay basketball, which is a game that deals with historical seasons. And I'm playing the 1992-93 Knicks, the team that could not get past the Bulls there, had their best chance. I'm replaying that season, so we'll have some blog posts up about that and some YouTube videos up about that too. PC Replay is a pretty cool game to play. It's my favorite replay game of basketball, so check that out for sure. And we'll have some golf tournaments up there too. The majors, the 1962 U.S. Open I'm going to have up soon with Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus at Oakmont. 97 Masters, all those things too. So check out at thesportsprojects.net for all that good stuff. Alright, down by 27 now. We got the 100 mark at least. We got the 100 mark. Second straight night. We've hit the 100 mark. We got to celebrate small things there. Down by 27. The Brooklyn Nets. Love the sneaker sound. I like the sound of the ball. There's a swish right there, but I like when they miss it though. I just don't like I love the sound of the rim and the iron being unkind, as they say. So this is on the slow speed. I think it's a really good speed to watch the game and see what's going on. So 129 to 100 here, under 2 minutes to go. The fans have left the building here in the Barclays Center. Happy with the Nets win. They're going to go 1-1 this season. Knicks will fall to 0-2. .148 to go. We've kind of got our scrubs in now too. We're getting some of our guys in who don't play a whole lot. Getting them some run. Some development time. This could be a long season for the New York Knicks. We try to build for a title here and make some moves. Got an ambulance outside my house. Down the road, back road by where I live. .130 to 104. Getting up 130 is not going to cut up. Awful defense. We might be the worst defensive team in the NBA. We'll have to track that too. Shot 24 threes. Dragan Savkova of the Brooklyn Nets. Sounds like a dude from the Eastern Bloc over there, Lithuania maybe. Russia maybe. Big guy coming down the court there. 133 to 104. The Nets are putting it on the Knicks. Not good, not good, not good. There's a little strip there, I could steal. This game winds down, and I'll show you what happens in the box score afterwards, and they show the play of the game. They do a good job wrapping this stuff up with the box scores and stuff. So there's Travis Davis getting some playing time with 10 points at the bench with 4 boards, trying to earn some more playing time. And that's it. That's it. 133 to 106. 8 beat down. And you hit the play button here to exit. And let's take a look here at this. As you can see, it was ugly from the start. So Derek Carter, 29 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. They took him out early. He could have got 30. The Nets had a 33-point lead at one time. The Knicks never led. Only one lead change. That was at 2-0. Fast break points are even. That's good. Second chance points we got killed on. Points in the paint we got destroyed. We got no big men. We don't got any big men that really do anything. So not good at all for the New York Knicks. If we kind of go back in here, check out today's action. You see some things over here. Clippers signed a free agent. Hornets, the #1 team in the East, projected-wise, signed some agents there. So forth. So we got the Knicks. We have the Celtics next. Celtics 1-1. The Celtics not a very good team in this league, projected-wise. So maybe we get our first win there. I'm not going to play this out here, but I'm going to see what the point spread is. And we are favored by 18. Good Lord, the Celtics must be horrid. They did win a game, though. Joey Jennings is out. Maybe he's good. He's got to be pretty good. 18 points. Favorite. Have they watched me play? Let's see who Joey Jennings is. He's out with a concussion. No, he's not. I mean, he's an average ball player. He's an average ball player. Let's see who they beat and who they lost to. 1-1 is the Celtics. 94-94. They got some cap room too. Let's see their schedule, who they beat, who they played. That's how you kind of get to know the league too, trying to figure out what teams are good. So they lost to the Sixers, who are pretty good, and they beat the Raptors. The Raptors one of the bad teams in the East, so that makes kind of sense there too. So maybe they're not that good. They killed the Raptors, 9-70. The Celtics and the Sixers destroyed them too. So maybe we get a win. We play them twice here. Pretty quick turnaround. So that's it for the game. So check it out, WolverineStudios.com. Draft Day Pro Basketball 21. Real good company. Gary's a good guy. He puts this together. And look for college basketball, the new version coming out in the spring. Well, probably February, March area. It'll be the same kind of look as this one. They redid the interface a little bit. College Basketball 20 is a really good game too, but I would wait and get 21 if you can hold out for it and get that too, because it's going to have the same really good look to it as this one does. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe. Check out the blog at the thesportsprojects.net. Sorry, my dog came in and sat in my leg. Thesportsprojects.net. Check it out, and I'll be seeing you soon. Bye.